Several members of your group were seized by giant spiders in the night and dragged away from camp. When the sun came up, you followed their trail to a large cavern entrance and entered in. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression style playthrough series of The Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm playing the third quest from the Haradrim cycle, Beneath the Sands. Just looking at these opening hands, this one, I did not take a mulligan. It has card draw, it has cancellation, it has some decent willpower allies. And for Thurindir's setup ability, search your deck for a side quest and add it to your hand. I chose Explore Secret Ways, which is, it's less popular, understandably so. It's better at higher player counts, but of course I only do the Line Unbroken two-handed, so yeah. I think that, well, I know it can be useful here. You can debate whether it's useful enough to merit grabbing it right at the start of the game, but I'm going to give it a go. This hand, I was debating whether I want to keep it or mulligan. The feint is obviously decent. I have 3 allies to play with Hirgon, but I don't have Legolas, who would be nice to start with. I don't have the Gondorian Shield for Beregond, which would be nice. But they're not essential, so maybe I should just take what I've been given. I do have deep knowledge, but, well, if my argument is just nice allies, that's not much of an argument, because this deck is full of allies, almost half of it. So yeah, still 3 nice allies, 2 feints, golden shield. Sure. So, setup. Set Broodmother aside. Yes, I said Broodmother there. Broodmother aside out of play. Add the search objective to the staging area, off track, face up. Inside the cavern entrance, you find a large maze of tunnels crisscrossed with all manner of prints. It is impossible to discern which of the tracks you seek, so you begin to search all around. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until X locations are discarded, where X is the number of players. Add each location discarded by this effect to the staging area. So, okay. Some of these cards I'm discarding, I'm quite glad that I will not be seeing, but we're getting quite deep without finding locations, which is surprising. There's one. And there's 2. Spider Burrow. Immune to player card effects. Forced after Spider Burrow becomes the active location, flip the search objective to on track and add Broodmother to the staging area. Forced when Spider Burrow leaves play as an explored location, set Broodmother aside out of play unless the players are at stage 3B. And a Cobwebbed Cavern. Track 2 while on track is in play. Cobwebbed Cavern gets +2 threat. And I'll just look at off track here. Forced at the end of the quest phase, place 1 resource here. Then either return the topmost location in the encounter discard pile to the staging area, or raise each player's threat by 1 for each resource here. Progress cannot be placed on the main quest. So, Control A. White Council and another Deep Knowledge. Well, I'm definitely going to play 1 Deep Knowledge. I'm probably going to play both Deep Knowledges, so I'll just do it now. This could theoretically come back to bite me. In a previous attempt, which I am not uploading because I made a not particularly significant rules mistake, but I made it early on such that the long-term impact was fairly incalculable. So, and in that game I was having some significant threat issues, but that was partly due to treacheries, and this time I have a test of will already. So, I could play the Golden Shield, but Theoden's going to be questing. I could play Keep Watch, but I want to do Explore Secret Ways first. So I think I'm playing nothing. Over here I play Explore Secret Ways. And I guess that's it. Play the Daryl's Runes. Okay. I'm going to ditch a Rider of Rohan because they're more expensive, so I'm less likely to manage to play them. There's 5 threats in the staging area. I'm questing to explore secret ways. Theoden, of course, is adding a point of willpower to each of my tactics heroes. So 3, 6, 11, 13, 15. It'd be nice to have more of a buffer, but I don't have such luxuries. Spider Broodling, while on track is in play, Spider Broodling gains Surge. On track is not in play. And Enfeebled, each player exhausts a character they control until the end of the combat phase. Exhausted characters cannot ready. I'm okay with that. I'll just exhaust Baragond. So I've added 1 threat. I explore secret ways. I myself dared to pass the doors of the Necromancer in Dol Guldur and secretly explored his ways. So, while this quest is in the victory display, each location in the victory display with the same title as the active location does not contribute its threat to the total threat in the staging area. And also Thorundir gets +1 willpower for the rest of the game. So, I'm definitely not... Oh, no, sorry. At the end of the quest phase, I place a resource on off track, and then either return the topmost location in the encounter discard pile to the staging area. There isn't a location in the encounter discard pile, or raise each player's threat by 1 for each resource here. Now I travel to the Cobwebbed Cavern. So the track keyword, while you are off track, after a location with the track keyword becomes active, you discard cards from the encounter deck equal to the track X value, so 2, and see if any of them has on track in the bottom right hand corner. The Nest of Vermin does, which means that I discard all resources from off track and flip it to on track, which says forced at the end of the quest phase, search the top 3 cards of the encounter deck for a card with on track in the lower right corner, add it to the staging area and discard the rest. If no card enters play from this effect, flip this objective, and forced after the player's quest unsuccessfully, flip this objective. Oh! I completely forgot also, so I'm now very much out of sequence, but it doesn't matter, because nothing has affected anything. So, after here gone quest successfully, so technically I should have done this before even explore secret ways, because you quest successfully, then you place progress. After here gone quest successfully, play a tactics ally from your hand, reducing its cost by 1 to a minimum of 1. Then you may raise your threat by 1 to give that ally +1 attack and +1 defense until the end of the round. So I had been thinking the Dundingle Warrior obviously is good to get in early to avoid problems with the round where he's still exhausted, but since I had to exhaust Baragond, actually let's do the Defender of Ramas. I will not raise my threat to improve his stats. I was thinking I'd just take this undefended, which I could do. I could put the damage on Frodo, it's fine. But I had actually forgotten about Hirgon, who obviously neatly solves that problem because I revealed the treachery before questing successfully and triggering Haradrim. So I engage the Spider Broodling and defend. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack, +2 attack instead if on track is in play, which it is. So that brings this Broodling up to 4 attack against 4 defense. So that's fine. Control N. Okay. So now that Explore Secret Ways is in the victory display, I'm more comfortable with playing these Dunedain Pathfinders. So let's play one and have a look at the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Okay, so a Nest of Vermin or a Blocked Passage. I'll take the Blocked Passage. And then I'll play the second one. And have another look. Top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Okay, I'll take another Blocked Passage. 2 willpower ally in exchange for a 2 threat location is a reasonable deal. Obviously the ideal option would be if I could find a Cobwebbed Cavern, because then, because of Explore Secret Ways being in the victory display, the Cobwebbed Cavern would not count its threat towards the threat in the staging area. So I would be getting a 2 willpower ally just for free. Oh, but I just got 2 blocked passages, so I could now play the West Road Traveller and swap active locations. The blocked passage left in the staging area would not contribute its threat. On the other hand, the Cobwebbed Cavern is +2 threat because of on track being in play, so the threat in the staging area would remain the same, which is fine. I can make use of that when I just travel to a blocked passage normally. So with that being the case, I think I pay 3 for a Rider of Rohan. While a side quest is in the victory display, Rider of Rohan does not exhaust to quest. Over here, I'm going to play Keep Watch. I might want to do it this round. And then, obviously I have 4 allies in hand. I could potentially play maybe a Dendingle Warrior for full price and still have allies left for Hirgon. On the other hand, I can also just save the resources for events. I'm still a decent way away from reshuffling the encounter deck, and I remember seeing in enemy territory get discarded, that being the side quest which forces you to only have 5 cards in your hand, which obviously would be a bit of a concern for this deck with its 10 cards in hand. Okay, so there is 7 threat in the staging area. I am thinking that I just do Keep Watch. Of course, it's important to note that so off-track progress cannot be placed on the main quest, but side quests are still fine. So side quests are kind of really good for this quest. Now I am on track, I can put progress on the main quest, but I still think it's a decent idea to do at least one more side quest before trying to push forward, as I am establishing a board state. So, 11, 15, 17, 20, yeah, San Frodo. 22. And reveal. Nest of vermin. And a spider broodling, which gains surge because on track is in play. Grabbed by spiders. Surge doomed 1. Attached to the main quest, limit 1 per quest, counts as a condition attachment with the text forced. After the search objective is flipped to off track, each player discards an ally they control, then discard grabbed by spiders. And that also surged into another blocked passage. Okay. So I have added 1, 4, 6 threat to the staging area. I am making 9 progress, which is just what I needed. 3 on the Cobwebbed Cavern and 6 on Keep Watch. I called for the help of the Dunedain and their watch was doubled. Limit 1 copy of Keep Watch in the victory display. While this quest is in the victory display, each non-unique enemy engaged with a player gets -1 attack. Hang on, I should remember this time to do here gone, and now I think I could do with a bit more attack. So yeah, because I need to actually kill these. So let's bring in a Galvan Archer, dealing a point of damage to the Broodling in the staging area. And then I place the progress, explore the location, and explore Keep Watch. Add another point of willpower to Thurindir. He's up to 4. Now, at the end of the quest phase, search the top 3 cards of the encounter deck for a card with on track in the lower right corner. Okay. I did not find one, so I flip to off track, which triggers grabbed by spiders. So each player has to discard an ally they control. That's annoying. I'm going to discard the Defender of Ramus and a Dunedain Pathfinder. And then I discard grabbed by spiders. Now, travel phase, I travel to a blocked passage, triggering the track keyword on track on that spider broodling, so I am back on track. Now I will engage this spider broodling here. Deal shadow cards. Baragons defends against this one. If this attack deals damage, it does not, which also means this deck can lower its threat by 1. And so, with Keep Watch in the victory display, this spider broodling is attacking for 1. I could just take it undefended. Would seem like a bit of a waste of a feint, or a hold your ground, or a horn's cry. So yeah, I take it undefended, 1 damage to Eowyn. Over here, Rider of Rohan attacks for 2 and kills this spider broodling. Oh! Yeah, I forgot the second part of Haradrim's ability. Then you may raise your threat by 1 to give that ally +1 attack and +1 defense until the end of the round. If I'd thought about this, I could have done that, and the Galvan Archer would be 3 attack, and thus able to kill the spider broodling by herself. I had been thinking, if I really want, I could play Hold Your Ground to choose and ready a Sentinel character, Theoden is Sentinel, and I could use his attack, but for just 1 point of threat. I really should have done that. I'm going to allow that as a retcon. It's I so rarely use that part of the ability that I forget it's there. But there are instances like this where it makes a big difference. Killing an enemy versus not killing an enemy. So, Control N. Okay, Snowman is good. With that being the case, I will give Theoden the golden shield. And at this point, yeah, I think I play a Dendingle Warrior for full price. Over here, put Snowman on Theoden. And probably Aaron Galen Settler. Yeah, okay. So now, questing to the main quest. The blocked passages, because of Explore Secret Ways, do not contribute threat to the staging area. So there's 6 threats in the staging area. I quest for 11, 15, 17, 19, 21, and reveal Hive Guardian while on track is in play. It gets +2 attack and -5 engagement cost. And forced off track. Either flip the search objective to off track or deal 1 damage to each questing character. So, I could actually take the damage at this point. I don't have any 1 hit point questers. Or if I flip off track, then I probably just take an extra round, which is not the end of the world. I could cancel it, but I don't think it's worth cancelling. It's basically just take another round. That's fine. Because yeah, usually it is a point. Usually, or at least often, you would have 1 hit point questing allies in play. I don't, so I could actually take the damage, but I don't have a whole lot of healing available. Well, at the moment I have none available, but just in my decks I have the Long Defeat for healing, which is fine if I draw it, but it could be quite a way away. It is limited, and at some point quite soon I will reshuffle the encounter deck, and there is this side quest which blanks the text boxes of damaged characters. Plus, I'm not that anxious to advance the quest. I thought it was reasonable to do so, but I'm also fine with taking an extra round. So, I quested successfully. I ready Theoden with Snowmane. I only have the 1 enemy in play, so this is a good opportunity to play Beachbone. An Ent with attack power. Using Hagon. Obviously, since he's an Ent, I'm not raising my threat to improve his stats. I have explored the blocked passage. I could at this point discard the Erangalen Settler to discard another blocked passage, but I think I might want his attack, so I'm going to leave it. Now, off track. At the end of the quest phase, place one resource here. Then either return the topmost location in the encounter discard piles in the staging area, or raise each player's threat by 1 for each resource here. I could take the threat. I could also quite happily return a blocked passage and travel to it again. But I guess in the interests of keeping the staging area a bit clearer, I'll take the threat, especially since it's only 1. If you're going to take the threat, it's better to take it early. So, travel to a blocked passage, track 2. And now that has just reshuffled the encounter deck, but technically it shouldn't have because it's not the quest phase. There's an on track there, which means I am on track again. So I'll just put those into the encounter deck, because once I get back to the quest phase next round, they should be in it. Because this is the whole thing, the encounter deck is not supposed to reshuffle outside the quest phase, but I used the shortcut for revealing cards because it's the quickest way of getting them onto the table, and Octagon automatically reshuffles when the deck is emptied by you doing that. But in fact, that happened during the travel phase, so the deck should not have reshuffled yet, which means the Hive Guardian doesn't get a shadow card. So I'm going to defend with Theoden, exhausting the Golden Shield to add his willpower to his defense. His willpower is of course 3, because of his ability adding 1 to it. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not. That's why the Tactics Heroes quest so well. So he defends for 5. The Hive Guardian is attacking for 5, because it gets +2 for on track, but that's fine. And then I can attack for 1, 3, 5, 7, which is exactly enough to kill a Hive Guardian. Control N. Legolas, that's great. And a Westroad Traveller, which is fine. So, I guess this deck is playing... Okay, so at the moment there is 6 threat in the staging area. If I were to use a Westroad Traveller to go to a nest of vermin, thus dodging the travel cost, that would increase to 7 threat. It's still a net gain of willpower versus threat, and I can preserve the blocked passages for future use while also dodging this travel cost. And of note, the track keyword, it does trigger whenever a location becomes the active location, but it only triggers when you are off track. You don't need to get back on track when you're already on track. Also, technically at this point the encounter deck should still be empty. So then we come into the quest phase, the encounter deck is reshuffled, and I can quest for 11, 15, 19, 21, go to the main quest obviously. Seems reasonable. I might want to use Frodo as a defender. Cobwebed Cavern and Injured Companion. Each player must choose either raise your threat by 1 for each character you control or discard a character you control. This is the thing which screwed me over in the discarded attempt that I mentioned earlier. I revealed this 3 times early on. Firstly, when I had no allies, so both decks just raised their threats by 3, and then 2 more times when each deck had 1 ally and I didn't want to discard them. At this point, I could cancel it, but equally, I probably could afford to ditch an ally from each deck. So I would say Galvan Archer and Westroad Traveller. I lose 2 points of willpower. I've added 4 threats to the staging area. Cobwebbed Cavern getting an extra 2 because I'm on track. I am still making 9 progress, which is enough to advance the quest. Theoden readies for Snowmane. I pay 3 for Hagon's ability to put Legolas into play. I could trigger the threat raise. I'm about to get more enemies from the quest card. So I don't know how much attack I will need. And I'm not so concerned about threat. It's that treachery that I just had is the big thing that could boost my threat. I have Baragons to keep things under control. So yeah, I'm going to raise this deck's threat by 1. Also, I do have some Valor cards, so getting up to 40 could be okay. Yeah, so I make 9 progress. 3 here and 6 here. And I advance the quest. It is hard to keep your way in the dark labyrinth, but you are certain that you are headed in the right direction. When revealed, flip the search objective to off track. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until X enemies are discarded, where X is the number of players. Add each enemy discarded by this effect to the staging area. So, off track. Shuffle into encounter deck. And discard. There is 1 enemy. And losing these side quests means less willpower for Thurindir, but less annoying effects. And a Spider Broodling, okay. Cobwebs line the cavern walls, and the spiders are growing more aggressive. You must be getting closer to their colony. While on track is in play, encounter card effects cannot be cancelled. I forgot that, but never mind. So that's all still the quest phase. So forced at the end of the quest phase, place 1 resource here, then either return the topmost location in the encounter discard pile to the staging area, or raise each player's threat by 1 for each resource here. What is the topmost location? Is there one? There is not. So each deck will raise its threat by 1. It's okay. So I'm going to travel to a blocked passage again. Track 2. On track from the other blocked passage that I just discarded. Which means I flip back on track. So this deck is first player. So, oh no, I can avoid this deck engaging an enemy if I want, because they're not at the engagement cost of the Hive Guardian. If I think that's a concern. On the other hand, I have some attack over here that I could use. So let's have Hive Guardian over here and Spider Broodling over here. So I am on track, so this is 5 attack. Yeah, I'll just have Theoden defend this one with the golden shield. If this attack deals damage, it does not. And oh yeah, keep watches in play as well, in the victory display as well. Keep forgetting that. It's an incredibly powerful side quest. Some might say too powerful. Exalt a character you control. I will exhaust the Dundingle warrior. Baragon takes no damage. This deck drops its threat by 1. So now I attack 2, 4, 7 and draw a card with Legolas. And here Beachbone attacks. After he's declared as an attacker, I deal 1 damage to him to deal 1 damage to the defending enemy. One damage because there's only 1 damage on him, and so now that means his 2 attack is enough to kill the Broodling. Alright, Control N, new round again. Okay, Azane Silverbeard is nice, Grimbold is also nice. Yep, okay, so nothing really to play over here. Over here I'm going to play Robin Smallburrow and also put an Unexpected Courage onto Baragond. Yeah, okay. Seems reasonable. The blocked passage does not count its threat because of Explore Secret Ways. I am on track, so Cobweb Cavern is +2 threat. I guess that's a point I could have... No, it's fine. So 7 threat in the staging area. Quest for 11, 15, 17, 19, 21. How does 21 sound? Probably will not advance the quest, which I'm probably okay with. But I don't know. Yeah, okay. Let's just go for the 21. Holding back Frodo in case I want an extra defense, which I shouldn't, but still probably best to be cautious. I don't know. 23. Spider Broodling, which gains Surge because I'm on track. Grabbed by spiders. Surge doomed 1. Spider Burrow and Hive Guardian. So that's added 1, 4, 7 threat to the staging area. So I make 9 progress. 6 here, 3 here. Oh, okay. Yes. Correct order again. Ready Theoden with Snowmane. I'm going to pay 2 for either in Silverbeard or Grunbold. Yeah, it should be okay for attack. So the extra willpower. And then, yes, I explore the location. Oh no, wait. Scratch that. I play as Ain. I explore the location. I discard the Erengalen Settler to discard the other blocked passage from the staging area. And then at the end of the quest phase, search the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, something with on track, add it to the staging area. Okay. So, travel. I could continue benefiting from Explore Secret Ways by travelling to a spider burrow. Actually, could I, with it being immune to player card effects? Each location in the staging area. This is a player card effect, so I guess that wouldn't help. But also I don't want to do it anyway, because that would put the Broodmother into play, and I have 3 other enemies to deal with. So let's go to the Cobwebbed Cavern. Now, 3 other enemies to deal with. So let's think about this. I have enough defenses, though of course I could use a feint. I also have some extra readying available. So I think I'm going to engage like this. Deal shadow cards. Yeah, okay. And remember, keep watch. So these are only 1 attack. This is 4. Factoring in that I am on track. So, okay, defend with Dendigal Warrior. It's fine. Defend with Baragond. Drop this deck's threat by 1. Desperate defense is specifically after declared as a defender, so I can't save it until I see the shadow effect. I think I'm going to play Desperate Defense, so +2 defense. There is an attack boost there, but that's what the extra 2 defense is for, and if this attack deals no damage, ready the defending character, which I didn't actually need, but it's fine. So kill this broodling. Kill this broodling with Azane. And after Azane's Soulbeard participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, spend 1 tactics resource to deal 2 damage to another enemy that shares a trait with the destroyed enemy. They share the traits creature and spider. And now I can attack for 5 and kill the Hive Guardian. And draw a card. Control N. Red arrow. And another test of will. That's great to see. I think this deck is playing nothing. Over here I'm going to play the red arrow. An extra +1 willpower to Haradrim, but I'm probably going to trigger the Val response immediately. So, there is 6 threat in the staging area. My quest for 12, 16, 18, 20, 22, I only need to make 5 progress. Reveal a Hive Guardian and a Giant Scorpion. So I've added 6 threat to the staging area. I am making 10 progress, so that's fine. Already Theoden with Snowmane. I add the red arrow. Valor response after attached hero quests successfully. Add the red arrow to the victory display to search the top 5 cards of your deck for an ally and put it into play. So top 5 cards of my deck. Boromir will enter play. And I can also trigger Haradrim. So I'm thinking probably an archer and deal a point of damage to the Scorpion. And then I make 10 progress. 3 here, 7 here. So I have countercard effects cannot be cancelled, but I have yet to play a test of will, so that's fine. Yes, I have completed this quest stage, which means this condition is discarded without ever having resolved, which is great. And I advance. Your search has led you far underground, to a large cavern full of giant spider eggs. Along the walls you see the cocooned bodies of your friends bound with many strands. At the centre of the chamber is the enormous brood mother. She glares at you through many bulbous eyes, and a poisonous froth bubbles from her fangs. You must find a way to defeat her in order to rescue your friends. When revealed, the first player adds brood mother to the staging area. Each other player reveals an encounter card. Flip the search objective to off track. Grabbed by spiders. Surge Doomed 1. That's about to go off, so I'm just going to cancel it. Injured Companion. Well, it's going to come to the same thing as the Grabbed by Spiders. I'm inclined to just cancel this as well. And I flip to off track. While there are at least 5 progress tokens on this stage, Broodmother loses the text cannot take damage. Forced after the search objective is flipped to off track, remove all progress tokens from this stage. This stage cannot be defeated while Broodmother is in play. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. So, in the quest phase, I put a resource onto... Oh yeah, also Broodmother engages the first player. I'll read the text in a minute. I put a resource on off track. I wasn't supposed to reshuffle the discard pile, was I? No. Okay, so there is a topmost location in the discard pile which I could return to the staging area. Cobwebbed Cavern. Or I could take another point of threat on each deck. Yeah. I'm just going to take the threat. So, yes, the Broodmother cannot have attachments, cannot take damage. Broodmother engages the first player. Forced at the end of the round, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a spider broodling and add it to the staging area if able. Shuffle the encounter deck. Victory 4. So, I'm going to travel to a spider burrow. The reason I've been avoiding them thus far is because they would have put the Broodmother into play, but now the Broodmother is in play anyway, so they are purely beneficial because they don't have the track keyword, they just immediately flip the objective to on track. So, now I'm going to take the Scorpion here and the Hive Guardian here. Deal shadow cards. Now the Broodmother is not immune to player card effects, so Feint. Since I haven't found a Gondorian shield all game, seems a decent idea to have the 6 attack enemy not attack, and she is still 6 attack because Keep Watch only applies to non-unique enemies. Non-unique enemy engaged with the players, -1 attack. Giant Scorpion, on the other hand, I can defend just fine with Baragond. +1 attack takes it from 2 to 3. So lower this deck's threat by 1. And here 4 attack. I guess I'll do a Dingle Warrior. Exhaust a character you control. I can probably do without the Archer, and I'll deal a damage to the Dingle Warrior for his ability to give +3 defense. So defense for 5 against 4 attack. Now I cannot damage the Broodmother, but I can attack for 5 to kill the Scorpion. Draw a card with Legolas. And I need 7, 3, 5, 8, 11. Overkill. Control N. New round. The Broodmother crosses the table. Yeah, I have to kill the Broodmother, but I can't damage her unless I have at least 5 progress on here, and of course if I go off track then the progress goes away. So basically all I have to do is make 5 progress on the quest, find an on track card in the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, and then kill the Broodmother. So, yeah, I don't feel the need to play anything in the planning phase with this deck. over here. Oh, Road Goes Ever On finally turned up. But I think it's fine. Let's just play the Westward Traveller for the willpower, and also play Mablung for the willpower. There is 3 threat in the staging area. Quest for 11, 15, 17, 21, 25, 27, 25 should be fine. Forced off track. Okay, at this point I might take the damage. I used both of my tests of will, but there's one Westward Traveller. Okay, Sand Viper. So that's added 4 threat to the staging area. I'm making 16 progress. Oh, and as usual, I forgot to do this properly. I guess 2 for Grimbold. Now, at the end of the quest phase, this is the moment of truth. Top 3 cards of the encounter deck. I am still on track. I will choose to add the Pitch Black Tunnel to the staging area. Oh, I was supposed to add Spider Broodling to the staging area at the end of the last round. So, okay. This is fine. There must be one in the discard pile, right? Yep. So, I say I added this one from the discard pile, which means I did not look at the encounter deck, which means I didn't need to shuffle the encounter deck, which means I revealed the same cards that I actually revealed. And now, I'll discard these, keep the Pitch Black Tunnel in play. And I can't avoid the Sand Viper, unfortunately, because of course it engages the first player when you travel. I could have just not travelled. In fact, I am not going to travel, but I am at its engagement cost. So I can't reduce my threat with the White Council, and I also don't want to. But yeah, so I'm not travelling. Guess I'll take the Broodling here. So I can feint the Broodmother again. The Sand Viper is attacking for 1. No, sorry, it's attacking for 0. I can't declare a defender, but it's attacking for 0 because of Keep Watch. So it's no damage, but On Track is in play, so I put Spider Broodling into play, engage with me, and deal a shadow card, but there are no cards left in the encounter deck, so I'll defend with Baragond, and he takes no damage. And I'll also defend. I'll drop this deck's threat. The button isn't working. I'll drop this deck's threat by 1, and Bergon will also defend this one and take no damage. So I need to attack for 16 to kill the Broodmother. 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 13, 16, 18, plus Beachbone's ability. I hadn't actually bothered to count, I just assumed that I probably had enough, and that I might have shenanigans otherwise. So the Broodmother is dead, and I win the quest. And that's Beneath the Sands. It's an interesting quest. I'm a big fan of side quests, so I like that this quest is very nice for them. Of course, because you can't place progress a decent amount of the time, the actual amounts of progress required are quite low. So that helps it to not drag on, although it is still possible for it to drag on if you just keep being flipped off track at the wrong moments. In particular, at some point I played a game of this quest where I was doing fine, it was decent, it was a fairly standard length game until I arrived on stage 3. I made the 5 progress, and then I looked at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and there was no on track, so I went off track again and lost my progress and couldn't kill the Broodmother, and I repeated this for several rounds. That was annoying, but it's statistically improbable that that will actually happen very often. So in general, the quest is fine, it's fun. You can get kind of swarmed by spiders, and you have to be ready for that, but obviously there are many ways of dealing with it. Hirgon is a decent hero, a decent fit. Keep Watch is a very good fit for a quest where you're going to get swarmed. Obviously I had other options available. Horn's Cry to drop everything's attack. Hold Your Ground, could have used that to ready Varagon, Theoden and the Daredevil Warrior at the end. Never got to use In the Shadows, but it could have been a thing. It would have only cost 1. A little attack and defense reduction could have been significant. I didn't get as many side quests as I might have liked. Gather information obviously could have been fairly impactful. Explore secret ways. I would say pulled a reasonable amount of weight. I feel okay with the fact that I started with it. The Long Defeat, of course, was my only available healing. Also would have gotten me more draw. That's the main thing I'm seeing in there that I missed out on. And over here, Hope Rekindled to synergize with the Valor stuff. Gather information is in this deck as well. Gondor and Shield, that would have been nice. But, I mean, Baragon still took no damage all game. Ravenwinged Helm as well. And Honor Guards. But But basically, the decks, with certain key pieces missing, the decks still did everything that they were supposed to do. And this was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.